folks. Thanks for joining us once
welcome
again. We're doing podcast.
Welcome to the Christ Brothers podcast. We talk about Christ. We're all brothers in Christ.
Just Christ.
Christ and only Christ. We're going to be taking some callers today. Going to be asking all of us Jesus Christus.
Christ himself.
Yeah. Hello, Christ. You're on the line. Hey guys.
Is that his voice?
Yeah, that's his guy.
Oh God! Wow. As usual, an offensive start. Very appropriate. It works quite well. Yeah. Well, grab yourself a drink, everyone listening to this. Sit down, get nice and comfy. Nice cold drink. Oh, wait, what's that? You listen to this while you're on a run? What, did I fucking stutter? Listen to me. Sit down. Stop running. This is not a running podcast.
What are you running
Sit down.
from?
In fact, pause the podcast, go run and grab yourself a cold drink, and then as soon as you get the cold drink, immediately sit down in a comfortable position and resume playing the podcast and have a nice listen. Preferably a nice ice-cold glass of Bumbu. Sponsors, Bumbu Rum. Nice, please. We would love a sponsor. Yes, you've joined us again. Coming up in this podcast, death, happiness, sadness, ducks, reading, and the internet.
Robots.
Robots? Oh, maybe. I don't know what stories you've got.
I thought this was like Death, Love, and Robots. I thought it was a Death, Love, and Robots.
No, that's actually, true. All of that.
Cool.
I've got more death stories, Judd.
And also robots. Not robots.
So, recently we had to skip a podcast because basically a lot of it was to do with my uncle dying. And it was just not fun to listen to. So, we've got more of that content because my auntie's died as well.
Wow!
It's not funny, but I'm laughing
No, it's
about
not.
it
It's
to,
not funny.
Cope with the pain. So, basically there's this woman who it's a lot of people, I don't know if this is the case in multiple areas, but I know where we're from. A lot of people have, an auntie or an uncle that's not actually their auntie or uncle. It's just that they're so good, friends with...
Mine lives
parents.
literally, the street over.
Yeah, so. And I've had an auntie that was fighting leukemia, and we just found out recently that she has passed away. So
Right.
Not
good.
No, it's quite sad, but don't worry, there's more fun stuff to come in this podcast. We've seen a husband next door, because we live next door to them.
Okay, so it wasn't the, who was married to the guy who's just passed.
No.
It's a different auntie, okay.
Yeah, we were married to him, and her husband, we've seen him, bless him, he's so nice. He's been building a memorial garden for her in their back garden. And it's lovely and sad at the same time, but that's that. That's what's been going on in my life. What's been going on in your life, Judd? How have you been doing?
Well, I gotta be honest with you, Jake, I've been absolutely fucking cherry recently.
You've been so happy.
I've been just fine. Talking about relatives, actually, this is awful. This contrast that we have with each other with these two stories with relatives. Because for a long time
of my life, I gets awful luck and things like that happen, and then just I won the lottery other day though.
Well, so essentially, for a long time we've had this trustee account where people have put money in it for me when I'd turn 18.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me.
But I've never been able to get access to it because it was set up in somebody else's name. I'm not going to mention names or anything, but essentially he set it up, this guy, and he was I think he was a friend of the family, but or he might have actually been friend, like this case with your auntie, where it's but I actually don't know if he was family or real family. So I think he was, but essentially he had cancer, or still has cancer. I think probably still has cancer. So he could never go and sort out this account because he was bedridden with cancer. So it was just whatever. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. But he managed recently to go and sort it out. So I'm going this Friday He's also sent me a check for £300 because he says there might have to be a cash injunction to start it back up again, which I don't know why it has to be £300. So,
Ugh.
Yes.
Have you any idea how much money you're just going to be getting out of nowhere for nothing then?
No.
Any sort of guess?
Well, so he's given me 300 to I don't know. He's just said that apparently something might need to go in to get it started again. I don't know, but he sent that, and then I think in this account I don't know if he might have put a bit of something in, but then I also think mostly it was like Nan and Grandad put a bit of something in, and Mum put a bit of something in, and I think Dad might have put a bit of something in. I don't think we're talking. I don't think I'm going to open the bank and just be like, "You have £300,000."
Yeah,
I think
but
it's going to
be like £1.50, maybe.
I don't even think it'll be over £1,000. I'll be honest with you. I think it'd be maybe like 300, another 300.
They might have put 150 or so in each, though. It might be like
maybe
500, something like that.
Maybe. Also, I don't know if that will have got interest, and like
it will have. I mean, if it was set up 20 odd years ago,
yeah,
it will have.
So it's got 20 odd years that on it as well. So yes,
you don't know what interest is, do you?
I understand that. Me give money to bank. Money stay in bank. Me get money for keeping money in bank. I get. You know, I get. I'm basically there with it.
What's crazy, though, is the amount of money that they will have put in that account will have been a lot more valuable then than it is now. Even though you might have gained £200 of interest on it, it'll be, you know, inflation will have made that £200, like, irrelevant.
Yeah. But still, I mean, that's nice. You know, that's pretty...
That's fucking the contrast. You could say that news has probably made you happy as Larry, eh?
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to ask you next, though, Judd. Why is Larry so fucking happy? What's
going on with Larry?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tell me, I want to know.
It's like, why did the chicken cross the road? I don't know. He's got something going on.
Well, the chicken crossed the road because it wanted to get to the other side. But what? Okay, so the first question, the first entry on Google when you type in, why is Larry happy? So this is what it says. Who was Larry and why was he so happy? It's widely believed that this refers to Laurence Larry Olivier, whose expression of total contentment on leaving Morecambe. Oh. So basically, Laurence Olivier, aka Larry, used to live in Morecambe. Do you know where Morecambe is?
No.
That's where Tyson Fury lives. Fucking smash your head in. You know.
I thought it was I thought it was Morecambe in the middle. You see.
Shut up. No, it's where Tyson Fury lives. Big Tyson Fury. He'll smash anyone born from his mother. You know him. That's where he lives. Yeah. So this fancy Laurence Olivier dude was like so happy on leaving the land that Tyson Fury's from that everyone started just naming it after that.
Can you imagine to be so happy to get out of somewhere that literally a saying starts up around how happy you were to leave a place? Like, that speaks volumes for how terrible a place that is, really.
Fucking Morecambe. If you live in Morecambe, please tweet at Tweets Badly and let us know if that saying should be like that. And also let us know if Tyson Fury's like constantly parading round at Morecambe like what's that giant in the Bible times? Goliath. It's like parading around like Goliath, just terrorizing the town and kind of like just breaking shit. And I don't know. So that's what I picture. I feel like Tyson Fury owns Morecambe just by proxy. And but
it's an episode of South Park where like Mickey Mouse gets pissed off and he like grows to a gigantic size and he starts like flying around the city breathing fire on people. Do you think it's like that? Like,
yeah, that's what I picture.
Like burning.
I imagine he just like goes up to cars and like punches them and shit and goes, "No, you're parked in my spot," you know. And he like bursts into a restaurant, obviously like smashes his head on the doorway because he's so fucking tall, and then goes, "Bring me your finest cow, roasted and prepared." They're like, "We're a vegan restaurant, please leave." And he's like, "I don't care," you know. Give me a gallon of ale. Like we have wine, ale. Bring me ale and a tray of cooking.
He like punches someone so hard they like liquefy.
Yeah, and they go, "Oh, okay."
Oh my god! Get a cow!
That's why they call him the Gypsy King. He rules like with an iron fist, like a king, a literal iron fist. Actually, his hands are made of iron. He's like kind of like Wolverine.
Yeah.
But
iron.
Oh yeah, iron fist. That one would work. Ironic that Wolverine's got a more literal iron fist than Iron Fist.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah.
But this whole topic of why is Larry so happy, it got me thinking. Maybe we should have certain names for like other stuff, like so you could say sad as Jerome, or like healthy as Gemma, or I don't know. What do you think?
I gotta be honest with you, mate. I'm feeling as suicidal as Colin. Yeah, that could work. It's like, I mean, the saying literally just comes from a guy who left a town. You'd think that someone who was so suicidal that they like and depressed that they like blew themselves up with a bomb or something. You think that'd be a come and say, "Oh, do you remember Callum who was so depressed he like drove a bus into like 10 people and like blew himself up."
What's the most famous suicide? Let me
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm as hurt as Kurt. Oh my god,
Well, you could say I'm as suicidal as Kurt. Oh god.
Well,
could you
call
do
me Cobain because I like to complain.
As Amy Winehouse? Would that one
work?
Wow,
that's terrible. Can we? Wow.
Oh, there's Robin Williams. He suicided.
He did.
He
OD'd
Chester. What's his face? I forget his last name. From
yeah,
from that band from Linkin Park. Do you know what's really bad? I've just started shouting the phrase, "I'm as suicidal as Kurt," as my girlfriend's family's walked into a nice afternoon meal.
Jasmine, we need it.
Oh God. What about different ones though? Like what's some other like things you can be like? Like I'm as smelly as who's smelly? Who's famously smelly?
The French.
Oh God!
That's
no, it's jokes. It's all jokes. I suppose that is a stereotype, but this is not what we're aiming for here. Oh God! I think I'm going to swiftly move on from that sort of thing. Again, tweet at Tweets Badly as well if you can come up with your favorite. I'm something as something. Those. I'm as
guilty as OJ.
I suppose. What's the one that's about ducks? There's one that's about ducks, isn't there? I take a duck to water. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, there's that one, but there's also, and this is like my favourite saying is, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, then it's a duck. That's my favourite one.
Except when it's not.
Yeah, except when it's not.
Yeah, that one's a good one. But I've recently been looking after some ducks, actually.
Oh.
My uncle, not the dead one. Oh God. I shouldn't
phrase
it like that.
Yes.
But him and his family have interesting lives. Different. They live differently.
All right.
They're just a little bit. They're just into not so typical things. So rather than like a pet dog and a pet cat, they've got 2 pet rats and 7 pet ducks. Stuff like that.
Rats make for great pets, though. To be fair,
they do. They're very cool. They're very well trained, and they basically wanted us to go look after the pets for a weekend while they were away. And the rats, we literally didn't even have to look at them. They just shoved a pile of food in the cage, made sure the thing was full of water, and went, you don't need to look at them. Yeah. They're fine. It was the ducks that we were in charge of, realistically.
Right.
I did go and look at the rats, just out of, because I wanted to see them.
Yeah, I want to see the rats, yeah.
But I went in there and there was a huge spider on the wall, so I was like, yeah, I can see rats anywhere.
Yeah, listen, I can just walk into town centre and see a rat any day. I don't need to go risking my life.
Yeah, this spider was comparable to the size of the rats. It was fucking huge. So, but they were fine. The family lives in like a really nice kind of cottage type dealio, and they've got a stream in their back garden that actually runs through their back garden, and it goes for quite a bit, the land that they own. So it's really cool, and like it's really suited for ducks to live in as well, because the ducks, like they've got like it's kind of like a rabbit hutch, but for ducks. And then when they're not in there, they go down to the stream and just like swim around, and then they'll come back at night time. And
would you refer to it as a duck hut?
I would refer to it as a duck hut. That's how I would refer to it. It was interesting because there was like a baby duck when we were there. It weren't like a duckling, like just newborn, but it still had like the fluffy feathers and everything. Yeah. So we had to physically chase this baby duck and put it in like a smaller cage inside, because it couldn't sleep outside yet because it's too vulnerable from the weather and stuff.
Yeah.
So we had to like get sweet corn and like dash it about to trick the other stupid ducks to running off after the sweet corn, because the mother duck of this duck was like obviously a bit defensive of it. But ducks are fucking stupid, man. Yeah. Like, all I had to do was go, but corn. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm abandoning this motherfucker. and then they left it, and then we just had to go and go, whoop, and pick it up like an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
And then, just go and plunk it in a cage. But it had then, like, cheep for ages, and then it'd shut up, so it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But the other ducks, we would have to, like, open the hut and, like, pretend we were about to kick the ducks so that they'd go into the.
I know what you mean. You're not actually doing it. You're just going and they're like going, oh fuck, like they move. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're dumb as well. They just won't move.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. It was fun though. They were all right. It's one of those pets where it's like, but why?
Yeah, the thing is with rats is that they actually are like quite social animals, and they will like they can be trained, and like they enjoy like being held and you know stuff like that. But ducks, there's nothing behind those eyes. They're like they're essentially just like, so like I would consider a rat to have more of a soul than a duck. Like a rat will fully recognize you and will like run up to you and be like, you know, pick me up. I want to like, you know, like be sociable with you. And you know, they can do shit. They can like learn tricks and stuff. I don't know if ducks can learn tricks. Maybe they could.
I think you could maybe teach a duck stuff.
It's more like tricking them to do something though. It's like
rather than teaching them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was quite fun. They all had different little personalities. They just fucking bite and rape each other. That's what ducks do.
Yeah. They are the little fuckers, yeah.
But they did lay some eggs, so we plucked some eggs from their hut, the duck hut.
This all reminds me. I've been watching a guy on YouTube. You might have seen some of his stuff called the Urban Rescue Ranch, and he basically like takes in a load of animals and stuff, like, you know, rescues them all, and he has like this cool ranch, and he's got a bunch of different animals and stuff, and it just shows you how he like looks after them all. But yeah, so maybe you should do that. Maybe you should start up like a little rescue farm, because you love animals so much.
I hate animals. It's one of those where like my girlfriend was like, oh yeah, we might want to get a duck maybe, and I was like, no, we don't. Do you know the worst bit about them is they're gross. I didn't realise this, but they're constantly shitting. Yeah. Ducks, like, not a joke as in, oh, there's shit everywhere. They actually are. Like, they don't stop their shit with a sphincter. It just kind of like slowly seeps out of them.
Yeah.
So it just gets everywhere, and you have to hose down the floor all the time.
Yeah,
so it's gross, and you have to. We've got no choice but to wake up at like 8 o'clock every day. And I know that's not like massively early, but like you can't lie until 10. You can't, because you've got to get up and sort the ducks out, you know?
That's the thing. It's like, I usually pretty much always get up at about 7 or 7:30, because even on like weekends, because I'm up every morning at 6 for work, so my body just gets up at that time. But if there was one day where I was like, you know what, I'm staying in this bed and I'm gonna keep sleeping until like 10, and I was woken up by wah, 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 I'd go out, I'd stomp it. I'm sorry, I'd stomp it.
Well, it's not so much that they're like not so loud that you can't like block it by the hutch and then your walls for your house.
Yeah,
it's just that you have to let them out because they'll just eat each other. You know, they'll fucking just kill each other and shit. So you can't do that.
What if I want the prime duck though? What if I want like the mega duck and I want to like weed out the weak? Do I just like let them have at it?
I suppose so. But
why don't people do duck fighting instead of dog fighting? Because a dog's got more of a soul than a duck. I'd say like a chicken has got more of a soul than a duck. We can set up.
No. Chicken don't have as much soul as a duck. Duck's got more soul than chicken.
Really?
Yeah.
What are chickens like? What's the game's badly stance on chickens?
Tastes pretty good.
Them's good eatings, yeah.
I think the question that we've naturally come to is, would you eat a dog? What are you thinking?
I wouldn't eat my dog. I don't know.
You'd eat any old dog.
I think in certain situations, yes. I feel like if it's a survival situation, pretty much almost definitely. If it's in a culture where the dogs have specifically been bred for that purpose and they don't suffer as well, not suffering is a big part of it, then maybe. And maybe I'd eat some dog. Then maybe I'd try some dog.
I'd eat a dog.
What would you try, dog? A bit of dog meat.
Not only would I eat a dog, I would eat my dog. I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. If it wasn't like a health problem.
Hold on a second. I hear you chomping. Are you eating her now? You just eat it.
Nah, I mean pretzels. Dog flavored though.
Dog flavored pretzels. No. Yeah.
If I would eat my family if it wasn't like bad for my health. You know?
Wow.
Not while they're still alive. Like, you know, they have to already die of something else. But then they might have disease and, you know.
I'm not a monster.
yeah. But, to be honest, I thought there'd be more interesting stuff come about from looking after some ducks that I'd be able to talk about on the podcast. But it was just quite pleasant, if I'm being honest. Although, what is interesting is the kind of family's house we were staying at, because they're not typical, they don't have a TV. Well,
okay.
When they've never had a TV at any other houses they had, because they're just not into TV. They're just not interested by it.
You know what? I don't blame them. There's no good on these days.
There isn't.
Yeah.
But when we asked, do you have a TV now or anything? And he said, no, we've still not got one. And then I looked to the corner of the room, and there's a massive fucking TV. So I'm just thinking, do you like TV so little that you've forgotten what they look like? Because that's one right there.
She's not recognised what a TV is. Oh, she's never had any interaction with the TV, so she thinks it's something else, like a radio or something. So she's like, you're like, well, what's that? She's like, what? Is that what that is?
But you could tell that they definitely didn't use it, because it must have been whoever they bought the house off. They just left it.
Yeah.
Because I went to turn it on to watch the program we wanted to watch that evening, and it were like covered in like cobwebs and stuff. So they never turned it on.
God.
So that was quite interesting. But also, my uncle's always been very interested in kind of like, I don't know the term, I guess combat, like war stuff, and like, you know, like swords and bows and arrows and like and like kung fu and all of that sort of thing. So in his garage, they've got quite a big garage and it's quite a big garage, and it's attached to an annex, like a separate little house.
Yeah.
So in this garage, he's got quite a big segment of it cut off that has loads of weapons in it. So he had like some of those wooden training swords, bow staffs.
His full name and address is...
No, he's got 2 katanas, and he had some of those. He had like some really short but really thick, like choppy swords that you're obviously meant to dual wield. There was a couple clubs, like that big gorilla guy in Black Panther, the one who goes "Ibombe."
Oh yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
No, he goes.
Yeah. No.
He says it does like that.
Oh yeah. No, he's. I think the Black Panther says Bombay. He says Banfer. I think he goes Banfer like that.
Something like that. I don't know. But the type of club he uses, he had one of those. He's got one of those things that when you like hit it and like it's got wooden arms, it swings around and like bashes your face and stuff.
Yeah.
Those things. He's got one of those. So I like fucked around with some of those because it was kind of cool.
Yeah, of course it did. Yeah, because you're not gonna play with. You're not gonna play with weapons if you see them. You're like, you're obviously going to play with them.
And at one point, we were just playing chess downstairs in the middle of the day because he has quite a cool little chessboard.
Yeah.
And we thought we heard like a burglar or something upstairs. So I went and got 2 swords and dual wielded them and went around the house like, is there a burglar?
I thought you were gonna say that you were playing chess and Jasmine like won, so you went in and you like got out a sword and like you came back in.
No, Jasmine's gonna beat me at chess. Are you kidding me? But I thought that was when I did that with the swords. It was mostly for the fun of it, to be honest. It was like when you're a kid and you pretend.
Yeah,
it was that. But he also had a plethora of bow and arrows. So, because they've got a little like stream section, we brought all these bow and arrows down to try them out and just started shooting them at the trees.
God,
it was fun. I don't know if I was allowed to do that.
You did it,
but I thought, you know what, this is going to be too much fun to not do. And so long as nothing goes wrong, he can't be that mad, The only thing that went wrong is I lost one of the arrows and I couldn't find it in the bush. So
he's
got literally like 150 arrows. So if he's that bothered, I'll buy him some more arrows.
He can't. That was his lucky arrow though that his dad gave him. He can never get that one back.
Interesting. It looked like all of the other ones.
No, but he knows.
Yeah. He knows. Well, speaking of knowing stuff, Judd, I have been... Now, this is going to sound very silly, and don't laugh at me, because this is actually, I'm proud of this. I've been practicing reading, because I'm not very good at reading, and I get a monthly subscription box that has a quite a lengthy magazine that tells you all about beer. So, if you will permit me, I would like to read you a segment from this magazine. It's about whiskey in the US in like probation times and stuff.
All right.
So here we go. It's called Whiskey on the Water, this article. So it says, in 1920, America went dry. The work of temperance movements such as the Anti-Saloon League had finally paid off, and it was illegal to make, sell, and distribute alcohol in the United States. Remarkably, consuming it was not technically illegal, and the 18th Amendment certainly did not stop people from wanting to drink rum, whiskey, gin, and other types of alcohol. During Prohibition, alcohol made by amateur distillers was in circulation. Drinks like moonshine and bathtub gin were standing in for the professionally produced spirits that the country had grown accustomed to before Prohibition. Can you feel the dyslexia kicking in? Can you feel it starting to happen now? These
I remember that
spirits. You weren't there. Shut up.
I remember that happening.
These homemade spirits, available in speakeasies across the country, were frequently strong and often not particularly pleasant. Moreover, some of these spirits were dangerous. In some cases, they were made from industrial grain alcohol, denatured with chemicals.
Make you go blind.
According to the Mob Museum, there's a Mob Museum.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
We should look into going to that one. As many as 50,000 drinkers died from consuming tainted alcohol during Prohibition. Oh, God. Those
you got to get your glug on.
A dram of something different and safe needed to source it from elsewhere. Getting it in the country from overseas would be the tricky part. It was a job for the seafaring bootleggers known as the rum runners. And that's like about a tenth of that article, but that's as much as I can manage. So there you go. I did all right there, no?
Yeah.
I'm proud of me.
That's
an interesting thing.
You've not grown up with him, so you don't know how much of an improvement that is from rum was.
I think what's helped is reading like stupid Reddit shit. You know, like when we read like the 2-sentence things, and more importantly, the longer unpopular opinions Reddit.
Yeah.
Which I think we should take a look at now and see what we think.
Oh, God, I hate Reddit.
So we normally organise this by top of all time, and then we just go through the biggest ones of all time and the biggest unpopular opinions of all time and see what we think of them. But I've done about top of this year because I was trying to maybe keep it a bit more relevant. The top one is AM and PM is dumb. Everyone should use 24-hour/military time. There are 24 hours in a day, not 12. Adding AM and PM is an extra step and makes signage unnecessarily confusing when they're omitted. Even if you're using the 12-hour format, the math is really easy to make the conversion.
What does AM and PM actually stand for? Is it at morning and past morning, or what?
I don't actually know.
Yeah, like...
Let me. What does AM and PM stand for? It's post meridiem.
What?
It's Latin for before and after midday.
Oh, okay. I was near that. All right.
So I kind of agree, but my problem is I find it easier to use AM and PM because I'm used to it and I'm dumb and I can't be bothered to switch to 24-hour. So I always switch my stuff to 12-hour format. But I have to say, that's just because I'm lazy, I think. I think 24-hour is better. No?
I read both of them like both the same. I have no problem telling the time from either one, so it doesn't impact me at all. But
so do you think when we come into power, are we abolishing AM and PM? Which one? Because we're only keeping one because we're an absolutist society. So which one do we have injured?
Well, we'll just keep everything at morning. We'll just keep it all perpetually in the morning. Everybody always has to go into work all the time.
We'll keep it all in the morning, and we'll just call it light morning and dark morning.
Yeah.
After 12, it goes to morning again. It goes to 1 a.m. again, but it's just night. Like that's a new day. So there's actually not 365 days in the year anymore. There's what's that? 730.
Yeah.
Light that's how we're doing it. That's the worst system ever.
That reminds me, like I've been watching a load of BoJack Horseman again recently, and one of the fucking episodes, it's like a bit of it's in the future, and they're talking in this classroom, and this one character is saying, "Oh yeah, the date was like February the 23rd, 2014, but this was before they embraced the bean system as the only proper calendar." And the entire classroom goes, "The bean system is the only way."
That show. This is an unpopular opinion. BoJack Horseman is quite shit.
I think it's brilliant. You're the only one who has that opinion.
It's really not that brilliant. It's so easy to make like sad show that it's not poignant in any way.
That's
it's not
not
and
the
then it
only
loses
point,
how funny
though.
it is as well.
That's not the only point. You just gave up on it because you're disgusting.
If that isn't the only point, then it doesn't achieve what it's trying to achieve. It doesn't achieve any other point. That's what my problem is with it. It feels like it's trying to achieve some more poignant points than it's actually even achieving. It's just quite shit.
Post it on Reddit and see what people say.
Yeah,
it's an unpopular. Do it. It's an unpopular opinion. I don't like what most people post on there because it's actually popular opinions.
Yeah.
So post your unpopular one on there.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that and get back to you. See what happens.
Do it.
I've just had another idea for a good podcast topic, but I can't bother to write it down.
Right.
Next, what's the next one? It should be illegal for companies to advertise that a phone has a certain amount of space, only for half of it to be occupied by the operating system. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah. So obviously a phone, I don't know, we'll say it has like 4 fucking terabytes data on it. I don't know.
If your phone's got 4 terabytes of storage,
I know.
That's a good phone.
I know. Like, that's ridiculous. But, not necessarily all of that is free space because, like, the operating system and, like, essential shit takes up a lot of... The best way to describe
it would be, my computer has, I believe it's got... How many have I got? My computer's got 4 terabytes of space. Wow! That's the amount you said. Holy shit.
Yeah.
My computer's got 4 terabytes of space. But Windows, it's a Windows computer, and Windows itself takes up about, I don't know, is it 120 gig of that? Yeah. So if I put it in the same format, just for people who don't know a lot about computers, my computer's got 4,000 gigabytes of storage, but 120 of those gigabytes is just Windows. So, and it works for phones. So your phone might have 64 gigabytes of storage, and Android takes up 10 gigabytes of that. So numbers are kind of similar to that. And I understand the frustration with it because you're expecting to have like 64 gigabytes worth of storage to keep stuff. So they should just advertise it's got 54 gig of storage, is what they're arguing. But there's a massive problem with that, as far as I'm concerned, because updates happen. So if the iPhone 14 comes out, it's got Apple OS 14 on it, right? Yeah. I don't know if this actually matches the latest versions or what. On the day it comes out, it's the iPhone 14. It's got Apple OS. It's got Apple Phone OS 14 on it, and it comes with 64 gig of storage, and that operating system takes up 10 gig of storage on day of release. In 6 months' time, that phone will have had updates to it, and it'll have Apple operating system version 14.71 or something like that. And that might take up 25 gigabytes of storage. So if someone bought it 6 months after it came out, then they can't advertise that it's got 54 gigabytes of storage because it won't have in this system. It'd have a lot less than that. So far as I'm concerned, when it comes to something like this, people have to stop being so fucking stupid and know what they're talking about. They need to know that when it's got 64 gigabytes of storage, some of that's already going to be taken up. It's
never like a huge amount's taken up either, is it? It's like...
No.
I don't know,
I don't think this is the duty of the companies to inform idiots that there's going to have to be some of that storage taken up to make the phone work. Because it'd be insanely hard to be accurate with the amount of storage that's going to be free when you get the phone in the first place. And also, just like, don't be dumb. Like, it's really easy. Yeah. So, yeah, I actually disagree with this unpopular opinion. I kind of agreed with the first one, but that one, I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one for us, because I think we will probably agree with this one. Coffee culture sucks. This is a long one, right?
Okay.
It says, I hate coffee culture. I can't stand people saying, I can't do anything until I get a warm cup of coffee in me. Shut up. Being a former smoker, I recognise the addiction and subsequent irritability of coffee drinkers, and it bugs me to no end that caffeine gets glossed over as an addictive substance, or even fucking celebrated to some extent. Those people who brag about needing 5 espresso shots a day need an intervention, not a nod of approval. Seriously, all you coffee drinkers are the biggest group of fucking enablers I've ever seen. Oh my god!
This guy's not happy.
Going in on it.
I gotta say, talk your shit, King, because I actually do. I completely agree with him.
I do agree too. This is why I'm not into coffee or tea, because I don't like the idea of being addicted to anything. I don't like a thing having a control over me.
Yeah, having a hold over you. Like you have to take this to feel normal.
Yeah,
you have
exactly.
to take this to function. It's like, no, that's awful. That's an awful thing. And also, it's... Oh, I'm gonna sound like an old fella now, but it's scary for the children. Think of the children. Think of the children. Because my little sister, I remember my little sister saying to me, and this was like a year ago or something. It might have even been longer. This might have been like 2 years ago. So she will have been about 14 or 13, and she's like saying to me, "Oh yeah, I've got to have coffee. I've got to have coffee now." And I'm thinking to myself, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, that's really awful. It's like they say, the praising of addiction. And do you know what?
Yeah.
It happens in so many other areas. They use the word addicting to advertise something as being good. Like, oh, this game is so addictive.
Yeah.
That's bad then.
Yeah.
It needs to be fun in the moment. Like, there's lots of stuff that we've enjoyed recreationally throughout history that's never been addictive. Movies. Have you ever been addicted to going back and watching the same movie?
Hold on, I will have an answer. Yeah, Tenacious D. The Tenacious D movie.
You've never needed to go, like, you've never been like, oh, I'm getting a Jones in. I can't go to work today. I can't. I've got to go and watch Tenacious D.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen, does it?
Listen, like, boss, I'm sorry, I can't come into work today. I'm dealing with like withdrawals and addictions. Like, oh my god, are you all right? I didn't know you were struggling. I didn't know you were a user. What is it? I just gotta watch The Pick of Destiny.
Exactly. Like the things I'm addicted to and I can't function properly in my day-to-day life are breathing, sleeping, eating and drinking. You know, normal, actual human function things. So, I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's annoying with, like, there's always accommodations for stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's always a tea and coffee station somewhere. There's, like, coffee breaks and things like that when you're doing something. And it's so annoying. You have to, like, have boiling water available when you do something that having something like that available would be difficult. So, you know, say you're doing a full day's worth of rock climbing.
Yeah.
When you get to top of the mountains, people are like, oh, God, I've brought me boiling water with me in this flask so I can have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my God, really? Could you not have just brought water?
Yeah.
I see this with people who smoke as well. You know, when someone's smoking while driving, I think, I always think, does that not terrify you? That this has got so much of a hold over you that you can't wait until you've finished your journey to have your cigarette.
I don't think that's as bad because, like, I don't know. I feel like that's something that's quite, like, it's not putting anybody else in danger doing it, and it's like
smoking while driving.
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. Like, it's...
Of course it is. It's as bad as having you texting or having your phone, doing your phone while driving. Your hands are not on the wheel. Plus, you're putting literally smoke. You can't see through smoke. It's like,
well, no, that's going out the open window. You're not blowing it into the window.
Is it going out the open window? It isn't always. Plus, then where are you going to put your lit cigarette butt?
On your tongue. Put it out on your
straight out the window normally, doesn't it? Honestly,
yeah.
I would be scared if I like couldn't wait until I got home or got to my destination to have anything. Like, no matter what it was.
That is, if you feel like you can't wait and you have to have something, that just is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if anything has a hold over you at any point, that's a bad thing, and you should wean yourself off it.
I think the closest thing I can think of that's like that to me is entertainment of some sort, like stimulus of some sort. So I have to be like watching something or listening to a podcast or listening to some music or something. Otherwise I get really bored, but that's ADHD. So
Yeah.
So, and that's not like unhealthy in any way. That's not like, I don't know. It's just, it's entertainment, isn't it? So, yeah. It's bad.
Yeah.
Coffee bad.
I gotta say, mine's porn.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
To be fair. But we're going to take a brief break from unpopular opinions. I think they've actually been better today than usual to do this segment.
That's it.
This is why you are wrong.
This segment is called This Is Why You Are Wrong. It's one that we've not done in a little while. The format of this is I present Judd with a certain premise. He will give his stance on that premise, and I have to try and convince him why he is wrong. Today's topic is, what is the best form of entertainment? Form of media. So we're talking music, movies, TV, theatre, books, paintings, anything like sculptures, fucking sex shows, all of any of it, you know.
I'm just gonna keep it simple and say TV series, to be honest, because I think my whole thing with any media that I consume, the two biggest things are the story and the characters, and I feel like the best sort of medium for them to have time to build like a good story and world building as well. When you've got a movie, it limits you a lot, because it's like that story's going to be told in like a few hours, or maybe if you get a sequel, maybe it may be like 6 hours or something. But usually in a movie, you got to tell the story and build that world and the characters in probably a couple hours. Stranger Things, we've had fucking how many hours of that have we had building that world and the characters and their relationships and the story? And it's the reason why that's so good is because we've been allowed that time to understand and love what we're being presented with. So yeah, I think that there you go.
Okay.
Suck my shit, dumb shit.
Okay. I'll suck your shit as much as you like me to. Don't look into that too hard, family downstairs. So
watching the podcast.
It's difficult because there's different approaches you could take to this question, isn't there? Because, like, for example, if we're talking movies or TV, without music, they would suck. So would music be considered the best? Or do we have to kind of just say that, TV and movie would be better because they have music included as well? So, you know, you get music as well if you're picking movie or TV. So it's a bit difficult to say. I don't think you could say a movie is actually a complete movie without any music or sound or anything like that. So I think you do have to say that the movie or TV or whatever does get music with it. So I think I would pick movies. Very similar options. But the good thing about movies is they get bigger budgets for a start, so you can kind of do more with them. You're always pushing the boundaries. It's more rare to have a TV show that's made like broken new grounds with with furthering the media. So that's the case. Movies don't have to just conclude their story in one movie. We can have multiple movies. I did
say that.
Plus,
I did say that.
You can just like have the end of a movie not be the end of the story at all if you want. You could do that. You could still do that. So that's kind of there's so much leeway you could do with them in the same way you could with a TV show. But if you're going to kind of put that perspective onto them, a TV series has to have an end as well. And the problem with them is often they don't. They either don't have an ending, or the ending kind of doesn't work so well. So that's that. Plus, the amount of time that TV shows have to fill causes problems with them as well. So because you have to have a certain amount of episodes and have a certain amount of content for the format, there's quite a bit of filler. A big example of this, a more extreme example of it, would be anime. Like, anime is famous for filler, but even if you look at Game of Thrones, so far as I'm concerned, that was full of all sorts of shite filler. So that happens loads too. The best TV shows that you get should be movies. If you'd cut them together right, they would be like a good feature-length movie, or at least a couple movies. Like, you know, one movie and a sequel. So even when you get the best type of TV shows, they should be a movie. Like, think about the last episode of Stranger Things. It was 2.5. It was a movie. It wasn't an episode of a show. It was feature length, so it was a movie. And you get it with a lot of shows like Sherlock, the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock series. That was 1.5 hours per episode. So really, it was 9 movies. So it shows how movies can be done with all the advantages of TV shows. Plus, you get a bigger budget. You get more scale for it, and the story is kind of, I would argue, kind of built up across more time. I mean, if you want an overarching story across multiple movies, you can just look towards Marvel for how they pulled off Endgame, and that there's no build up for a better payoff than when it's done with movies compared to TV shows. Like, as much as a Stranger Things finale I think will be really good, it's not going to hit the same as an Avengers Endgame or something like that, you know? Or even like the finale of Lord of the Rings, you know, the original trilogy of that. It's, yeah. There you go. What do you think, Judd?
You've not convinced me. You're not convinced me.
Why not? Why not?
Well, it's just little things. I think a lot of nowadays, maybe not so much in the past, nowadays, I do think shows actually do quite get pretty big budgets and can match or even exceed movies, because I feel like a lot of people nowadays are like, look at that fucking Netflix and Amazon Prime money. So they want to make like good series so that they can get them streaming and shit. So they're wanting to invest more in shit. Also, even just TV stuff, because it's like I don't necessarily know how it works so much with movies. I suppose they'd go on to TV at some point, but it's like residual checks and stuff. You're more likely to get more residual checks and stuff if you've got an episodic series,
syndicated TV show. That's,
because it's going to be played on more channels and shit. So that's another reason why they're going to want to sink more costs into it to make a good show. I also think your point with the Sherlock thing and like saying they're basically feature-length films.
They
it's
just
like,
are.
yes,
they are feature-length films.
It's like, yes, they are, but they're in a series. They're in a series of feature-length films.
So is the Marvel Cinematic Universe a TV series then?
No, because they're movies. They're like separate movies that have been shown in cinemas and have been designed for the big screens, and they're individual stories that can be connected together, but they're also spaced out over a long time. They're a franchise. They're not a TV series.
I don't know. That we're getting into the philosophy of which is which, what classifies as what. But I don't know. Well, I think that for me, it's a lot easier to invest in a movie than to invest in a whole TV series, because you're committed then. You know? It's like, I don't want to watch season 1 of... I don't fucking know. What's the
Always
TV
Sunny
series
in Philadelphia.
I've seen that, though. I'm trying to think of one that like might interest me, but I've purposefully not watched it because, you know, I don't want to commit to it. So I've not watched season 1 of
Ozark. I'm guessing you've not watched.
Yeah. Or I was thinking True Detective or whatever it is, but the similar things. Ozark. I've not watched season 1 of Ozark because there's so much stuff that I have to keep up with. Oh, the next season's coming out and things like that I don't want to commit to it, and it's so much time, so many hours that it takes up so much of your entertainment enjoying. Whereas a movie's a lot easier to digest. It's a more succinct story because of it, and you can watch a 2-hour movie and be like, oh, sweet. Whereas if you watch an 8-episode series where each episode's an hour plus long, That's like 8+ hours worth of content. A lot of it's going to be filler. A lot of it's going to be boring because of, there's loads of time. And you're committed then. Like, you have to watch every season to actually understand it all. And then that takes ages.
You know what? Actually, I think could just settle this whole debate right now. Go onto our spreadsheet and see what gets the higher ratings, films or TVs.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I can calculate that, but we'll see.
We can actually end this debate with your favorite thing in the world, genuine statistics.
Yeah, so we have a spreadsheet where we rate movies and TV shows out of 100. I've talked about it in many podcasts. So what I'm doing now is quick math and trying to figure out the average of all of these things.
I thought you had that.
I don't have that statistic. Okay. I'll keep trying to I'll be working on that while I ask you about this unpopular opinion. So next unpopular opinion we have is, if children are required by law to attend school, it is the job of the school to feed them for free. It's a very interesting take, that.
Yes. However...
law is requiring them.
Yeah.
So it's the law's responsibility, not the school's.
Yeah. So they should be supplying the school with the resources to feed the children. Yes. Right. So they yes, legally they should have their meals for free, the kids, like their school meals and stuff. But it should be the fucking government that is, paying for this shit. Instead of, because it's them saying
they don't
that
have to go to school though. They could just have to be educated.
Yeah, so if they're going to a school, they'd get fed. We're talking if they're going to a school by the cooks, by the dinner ladies. They cook them dinner, and they eat them.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. What? Feed children. Don't let children starve. What? I don't think I need to. Do I need to go into more detail than don't let children starve? Well, don't let the children.
If I'm being honest, I'm not listening to you because I'm trying to do calculations.
I know.
Yeah. I think I know what the calculation needs to be.
Okay.
So I'm still doing it. I'll give you another one, though.
All right.
My opinion on that, by the way, is the law is requiring a child to be educated. So the law should make sure that they have everything they need to be able to be educated by whoever's educating them. So if they're being put into a school, they need to make sure the school provides those meals free of charge. If they're being homeschooled, it means that you should get some food vouchers, food stamps, that should cover enough for the child's lunches just while they're being educated.
So basically just what I said then.
I wasn't listening to you, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know about air fryers, Judd?
Yeah, I've got one.
Right, then, this might be controversial for you. As a chef, it's an insult to hear air fryers are as good as frying. Air fryers are fucking bullshit scams and are just convection ovens with an extra fan added.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Because I never use them for the intended purpose, because the intended purpose, really, is to use less oil on shit, because it's being fried by the air. But the thing is, when you do that, it doesn't taste as good. So I just put a lot of oil on and fucking chuck it in the air fryer. So I agree with him, to be honest. It is literally just, for me at least, it is just, I just want to have I just want to have chips, I can't be putting them in the oven or anything, so I'm going to fucking do them in the air fryer.
In the oven, just as easy and quick?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is, but I don't know. I think maybe the air fryer's quicker, to be honest. I'd have to check. I'll tell you what. I'll set chips going in the air fryer at the same time as like going in the oven, and we'll test them. We'll do a race. But I don't know. It literally is just I chuck some chips in it, and it's I set it off. I'm not going to sit here and be an air fryer supremacist.
Oh God! Can we even use the word supremacist? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bit sketchy nowadays.
I guess you could technically say that I'm an Aryan.
Shut the fuck up. Right. I'm still working on this, by the way. I'm spreadsheeting to the best of my ability. I'm going on it. How do I do does not equal? Wait, no. Right, okay.
Okay.
I'm doing my best. Just bear with
Go
me.
on.
This is can you tell we record this live? So that needs to be that, and then if it's not that, then put.
I hope you're all enjoying this.
This is so fucking difficult.
Do we need to do this? I've set you off on this.
I'm settling this debate now. It's happening.
You have to. I shouldn't have fucking said anything. I should have just kept my fucking mouth shut.
I'm actually not far off. I'm genuinely not far off.
Okay.
I'll give you another unpopular opinion to keep us going. Okay. IKEA furniture is extremely easy to put together, and everyone who says it's incredibly confusing must be kind of dumb.
Well, I gotta say now, I won't know because I'm never put IKEA furniture together.
I've put together quite a bit of IKEA furniture, and I think this is kind of like, when people say Nickelback's bad? I feel like this is kind of like a meme like that, where everyone knows it's not actually bad, but it's kind of still funny to say that.
I don't know. I suppose maybe. If it's an actual thing, if people actually are struggling with it, I don't know if I'd struggle so much because I've literally spent 10 years building things out of flat packs and assembling stuff. So maybe I'd find it relatively easy, but I don't know. I don't know if people are just saying it sucks for the meme. I don't know.
Okay, so we've got the results for what's better out of movies and TV.
IKEA is over here as well, but it's not like as big as in America. Like Americans love
pretty big here
IKEA.
now, actually.
Has it gotten bigger? I don't know.
So I just need to determine, right? So I've done two columns. The right hand column is TV and streaming shows. The left hand column is movies, and I've averaged them both. And I can confirm that movies, the average score of movies, right?
Yeah.
Is 66.7 out of 100.
All right.
Would you like to take a guess at what you think the average score for streaming and TV is?
I'm going to say 68.
Well, the average score for streaming and TV, if I've got this right, I think I have, is 69.9. Nice.
Nice. So there you go. Actual evidence. Evidence.
It's pretty good. That was a pretty good conclusion to that one. I'm pretty happy with that. And on that note, that's a podcast. We ended on funny sex number. You love to see it. You love to see it ending on the funny sex number. Remember to follow us on Twitch because we record this live. Streams Badly on Twitch. There's the YouTube channel, which is Streams Badly as well. These podcasts go on there. And this podcast is on all good streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts and stuff. There's all sorts of videos and all sorts on all of those. And we have links in the description of everywhere to check out. If you made it this far, then please do that. You must have been entertained, like, pretty reasonably. It's been over an hour, so come on. Right.
What?
Any final words, Judd?
Not really. Just a bit depressed.
Oh, God.